So, what are the reasons that we should develop cultural competence in ourselves and in our students? Multicultural societies. International schools, by their very nature, usually have a variety of cultures, ethnicities, and nationalities represented in their student bodies and in their staff. But this trend is also increasing around the world where societies are becoming more and more diverse. So schools are also becoming culturally and linguistically diverse worldwide. And on the other hand, we have growing bipartisanism in the world, and there's wars and tragic events going on, which are making us more and more divided in our ideologies. So, in this aspect, the issue of multiculturalism and its place in education is becoming even more important. We really need to undertake deliberate and conscious effort to promote respect and tolerance, acceptance, and even anticipation of differences. The other reason that we're all familiar with is that early years are the foundational years. The amygdala in the brain, which regulates emotions, is shaped early on by experience and creates the brain's emotional wiring. Early years are a crucial period for learning self-identity and self-worth. And children learn about identity by comparing themselves with others. And they realize early on that they are part of certain groups and they're not part of others because of some similarities and differences. And they're observing the adults around them on how they react to these differences. And so children observe what is valued and what is not valued, what kind of differences are okay and valued and which ones are not. And in this way, they start to develop positive or negative feelings about the differences that they observe. And therefore, it's really important to catch them young when the likelihood of them having been enculturated with negative stereotypes and biases is less. So we can teach them empathy and connection and self worth, which really helps them be more accepting and tolerant of differences. And interestingly, this also helps them become teachers for others around them. So, for example, children have been known to tell their parents once they learn about the harmful effects of smoking that smoking is really bad for them. And similarly, when they catch other adults or their parents saying something negative about culturally different people, they can question the prejudices of those around them. Social emotional development. Diverse literature helps students develop self acceptance and confidence because being able to see themselves reflected in the main characters of a book deeply resonates with us. And when we are exposed to accurate representations of our own culture, we really develop our self worth. Belonging and connection. There's lots of research, and Brené Brown is a leading expert in this field. Uh, and a lot of her research as well shows that belonging and connection are really, really important. And one thing that accepting our students, making them feel seen and heard, does is it develops a positive classroom climate. And positive classroom climate is a sense of connectedness, belongingness, enjoyment, enthusiasm, and respect between students and teachers. And various research studies have shown that positive classroom climate leads to better language and behavioral development, better mathematical skills, and students who report having better quality relationships are 3 times more engaged in academic tasks and tend to choose more complex cognitive activities. So, This way, it becomes a win win situation where it using diverse literature to help students develop their empathy and self confidence not only is good for them, but it helps us achieve our goals of improving student engagement. And of course, diverse literature develops empathy and social development as well, because when children are exposed to a variety of cultures and a variety of people who are different than them, then they lose the fear of these differences and they're more comfortable being in diverse situations. And by learning about different people and their culture, it's easier for children to adapt to new circumstances and settings, and they also develop emotional resilience. So when they see a person like them, a character like them in a book doing something brave, they are more likely to be perseverant and say, if someone like me can do it, so can I. So at this point, I'll ask you to go back to our Jamboard and add a note about a book that you think is great to promote social emotional development in the early years and why. So welcome back and hope you pause the video and you add it to the Jamboard. If not, then please do that after we finish. And we have two more big reasons why we should develop cultural competencies. Global citizenship. Diverse literary experiences improve children's understanding of the world and prepare them for their future professions and help them understand current issues. And even though in early years our students are really young, there's never too early to begin talking about global citizenship or working on it. And also, a lot of international schools are accredited by CIS, and global citizenship is at the heart of the values of CIS. And in their global citizenship continuum, the highest level is states that use of global citizenship are the best schools use strategies that are focused on equitable support and outcomes for learners and are responsive to their diversity. And finally, Sustainable Development Goals. Out of the 17 SDGs, number 4 is quality education. And it states that we should ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So, quality education is the foundation for creating sustainable development aimed at achieving fairer and more supportive societies. So, now that we know why we need to develop cultural competencies, we are going to look at the next session. In the next video, we're going to talk about how can we then use diverse literature in our classrooms and how can we go about it. See you later.